Being joined by two lovely doctors who are going to help us, especially this season of Harmattan. Hi, Raja. How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and you?
Thank you.
And you're welcome, doctor, as well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
Awesome. Yes, I like it when a doctor says I'm doing well. They've kept themselves in shape and they've
they
kept
give
their
us
health.
hope.
Yes, and they give us hope.
When I see Dr. Sampson here, I get hope. When I see Dr. Ewuradjoa, I know that, okay, everything is fine. Anyway, I want you to join the conversation. Today, we're talking about what are some of the ailments during
Yes.
Harmattan. I don't know if December is the only period that we have Harmattan, but if it extends to January, what should you be doing? What should you be looking out for? What don't you know? You can join us, the conversation, on the number 024-680-7983. I'll take the number again, 024-6807-983. You can also go on our social media handles. For Twitter, we have at Real Joy Prime, and also Facebook and Instagram, we have at Joy Prime Official.
Well, interesting. Great. So, Dr. Ewuradjoa, let me start off with you. Ladies first, like they say.
Yeah.
What health hazards does Harmattan season present to us?
Alright, so before I start, let me just greet your viewers out there. Good morning.
Yes.
And good morning to you all. It's a pleasure being here this morning. Thanks for inviting me. Well, Harmattan brings a lot of, it's dusty, it's windy, it's very hot. It's a dry season. Usually it starts from late December through to February. So it brings quite, because of the way it's dry, it brings a lot of problems, okay? It's the flu season, so you get people having their cold and their catarrh, goes with their crisis, the sickle cell crisis goes up. Those with asthmatics also suffer a lot during this period. So it comes with a lot of problems, but we have things that you can do that would help to prevent or tackle these when they come on. So that's what we are here for, to discuss this morning.
Yeah, so what is the general, or what are the general...
So the general state of
Yes.
people's health during Harmattan. What's the general? Are there any statistics? What exactly is medicine saying? The general state of people during Harmattan.
Okay. So like Dr. Raja said, Harmattan has there are three risks in the Harmattan that can affect people's health. It's dry, so that can cause dehydration. Even though the weather is hot, you still feel cold. So that is one thing. And then there's a lot of dust in the air.
Yes.
So these are the main things that lead to health problems in Harmattan. So when you look like the dryness, that's going to cause dehydration. So in Harmattan, we are all grabbing a bottle of water. We are trying to keep well hydrated. Now, this is especially a problem for people who have sickle cell disease.
Okay.
Because in sickle cell disease, if you become dehydrated, it puts you at risk of getting a crisis. So in as much as everybody has to keep hydrated, if you have sickle cell disease, you need to drink even more. And especially for children. Now, young children under the age of 5, they lose water quickly as compared to adults. So that's why babies have their head covered and all these things. So you have to make sure that the children are also well hydrated. They're going to be running around, they're going to be playing. And with the Harmattan, you don't sweat so much. As soon as you are playing, the heat all the sweat just evaporates. So they can get dehydrated quickly. So hydration is a very important thing during the Harmattan, especially for sickle cell children, especially for sickle cell disease patients, and then children especially. But for all of us, we need to keep hydrated. Then the dust all over, you clean and clean and clean. Now, this same dust that settles on your table, settle on your windows, this same dust can settle in your nose. So like Dr. Raja said, asthmatics have a tough time when it comes to this, because you may be sneezing a lot. You always have dust settling. You sleep, you wake up, there's dust on your bed sheets, on your covers. So it's important for asthmatics to be aware that there's increased risk of them having attacks during the Harmattan. There are precautions that anyone who is asthmatic and attends clinic would be aware of. So they need to take extra precaution. Now, the last one is about the temperature.
Okay.
So in Harmattan, it's dry season, but you all attest the fact that even though it's dry, if you put water on yourself, it gets pretty chilly.
Yes.
True.
Yes. Now, that is also another problem for sickle cell disease patients. When they get too cold, they start having pains in their joints and all these things. So the crisis get more. So you can see that in this whole Harmattan thing, sickle cell disease patients are not very happy when it comes to Harmattan.
Yeah.
So they need to take extra care, make sure they are dry, make sure they are well hydrated, make sure they are warm. And children, because children can also become cold. They can also become cold. Nowadays, people struggle to keep cool at night, but in Harmattan, that's not a problem.
Yeah.
So it's about making sure the temperature is adequate and that you keep hydrated.
All right, thank you, Dr. Sampson. I'll come to you because you're a lady. I'm quite particular about women. I mean, generally, the biological formation of women is quite complex. Should women be doing anything special? Should we be looking out for something? Bacteria, like taking special, I don't know, going to washrooms? I don't know, because dust all over. What should we be doing?
Yeah. We want to protect our skin because we are more conscious about our skin and then our lips as well.
Great.
So make sure we are keeping our skin moisturized. And even the drinking water helps a lot with that. As well as using, you can use creams that contain vitamin E, even our shea butter that we have on the market. Anything that will just moisturize the skin and prevent it from being dry. Because when it's dry, it cracks are swollen and then increases your chance of having an infection. So just moisturize your skin and your lips during this time as well. And your eyes. Because of the dust that we mentioned, the eye, the dust and the wind and all that, when it enters your eye, it may irritate the eyes a bit. So you can probably wear some sunglasses during this time, not to look farble, yes, but at least to protect your eyes from from all that dust and all those irritants that are entering. Because if it's irritating, you keep on rubbing your eyes and it's quite uncomfortable and all that. So with the ladies, it's our skin we're worried about, our lips and our eyes. But also our immune system as well. This is a time when we have to be eating right. Okay, so we need more of the citrus fruits. So the oranges, your pineapples, your vitamin C, you need to be getting that in. Okay, because all these help boost your immune system. And when your immune system is up there, you have a lower chance of acquiring all these infections that we are discussing.
Well, Dr. Sampson, so you did mention, sickle cell patients or persons are the ones, mostly at risk. I mean, in general, does Harmattan carry any diseases itself, within that season that can affect just anybody?
Well, Harmattan is dry winds blowing in from the Sahara. The thing about it is that it makes it easy for respiratory illnesses, viral illnesses to spread. It's not special to Harmattan alone.
Okay.
But I mean, with the dryness of the weather, people who are having irritations, so they'll be coughing, you have the soreness in your throat. So everybody is, we talked about asthmatics who are having a difficult time because of the dust. And then you have people being irritated by this thing in their throat, they are coughing up. And so that makes it easy for some respiratory illnesses to move around. To be transmitted from one person to the other, especially in the Harmattan, yeah.
Okay, so can we confidently say that the dryness would nearly make people's immune system go down?
Yeah,
nearly.
naturally, yes, it does.
All right. So I get confused with these three things, especially during Harmattan, though Dr. Sampson said that this is not particular to Harmattan. Cold,
yes.
catarrh, flu. Can you tell me the difference between these three, Dr. Raja?
Yes,
just help me.
They sound like you have a problem as well. I do, yes.
So catarrh just means having a runny nose, and then a cough is just like a cough. So you're just coughing out, like a normal, that's a cough.
Yeah.
And then with the flu, you have headache, you have the runny nose, you have the cough, you have the itchy throat, you may have a fever. So the flu is like a syndrome. It's like a combination of all these, the cold and the cough together combined. The body pains and the headache, that's the flu. And that's more viral. But a cough usually is bacterial. So that's just the main difference.
And I'm told that you can't really cure any of this. You just have to control it when it happens, right?
Usually with the viral infections, we don't give you medications like the way you can give for bacteria, you can give antibiotics for them. With the viral, we just give you the vitamin C, just hydrate yourself, have your vitamins, eat well, drink enough water. That's all we can tell you. We can't do much for you because it goes away with time. It's self-limiting. The viral things go away by themselves. Just have to rest and just take things easy. Stress also plays a role here. Yes, so try not to be too stressed out during this festive season so that your immune system will be fine.
Well, you did mention, Dr. Sampson, that in talking about kids, for example, you just mentioned just keep them warm or wrap them or hydrate them. Are these the only measures or preventable measures, for living healthy for them during this Harmattan season?
Well, for children, for them, their nutrition is especially important.
Okay.
But Roger has mentioned the fact that even for adults, you need to take your fruits and all that to make sure your immunity is high. Now, children, their immune system is still developing. It has not reached your stage. So what you can tolerate, what your body can handle, they cannot. So if you, who can handle this, need fruits to be able to fight in this season, obviously children also need that. So yes, let them get the fruits, let them get all their healthy foods. It's Christmas, so toffees and things, but they need to have their fruits. They need to make sure that they are eating their vegetables so that their immune system is up. One of the other dangers of Christmas is that we are all going to parties. You go and eat here, you go and eat there, and all those things. Apart from the dryness that can cause dehydration, it's very common at Christmas time for people to get diarrheas.
Okay.
Because you can imagine that you are throwing a party. You're also throwing a party.
Don't do
and
that.
It's one
Don't ruin my party.
There's one
I'm still going
caterer.
for all the parties.
There's one caterer who is doing it for you,
Yeah.
is doing for you and for that. So she has food she has to cook. She has salads she has to do. So they're all trying, and especially with the salads, they won't tell you.
Yes.
But nobody has time to make sure
Really
that,
watch.
the salt
Take
is
your
enough, everything is
time.
enough, and salads are not cooked. So if there are viruses on it, if there are bacteria on it, you eat from here, you go to Ama's house, you eat from there, then in the evening you're like, your tummy.
Yeah.
Now, that's going to cause diarrhea. And in children, if they have diarrhea, they're going to get more dehydrated already. They are having this dry weather that is
Yes.
causing dehydration.
Yeah.
So Harmattan causes dehydration just because of the dryness. But Christmas time, dehydration is due to the way the food and all
Yes.
those things. So
Can you-
we should
And
watch out.
activities.
Yes, we should watch out.
Can you
I-
repeat
I-
that for somebody sitting on my left?
I'm not saying you shouldn't eat, though. I'm not saying you shouldn't eat, but then you should be careful, especially
What you're
about
eating, yeah.
the foods that are not cooked that you get from outside.
Yeah.
You should be extra careful
We
because
want
that
to
one-
pay particular attention to the kids. And one thing that, the kids really, fruits is not something that you can really force onto. Well, children don't really like eating fruits. We prefer,
Well, it depends on
they'll
how
prefer-
you make it or how you
Yeah.
give
so
it
that
to
is
them.
what I'm actually asking. What would be the best way if it were a drug to dispense, to kids especially?
One thing, kids they copy what we do as adults, okay?
Yeah.
So if you, the parents, you are eating your fruits, vegetables, right? Trust me, your kids are also going to eat the same thing because they want to mimic whatever you're doing. So make sure you're eating your food. Let them see you actually eating the orange. Let them see you actually eating the pineapple. Trust me, they'll come and eat some because they want to just eat and pick up on whatever you're eating, whatever you're doing. So it's about it's about what you practice at home. If you are eating well, your kids will also eat well.
Well, Ewuradjoa, staying on the matters of mothers and their children, we know that we have tight schedules, busy schedules now. You're working, yet you
Yeah.
have a child, and you have a nanny taking care of the child. Can you not just give me a shortcut by bringing my child to the hospital, inject him or her with something that will make him cry for food? Like, I want food because I can't trust my nanny.
Seriously, cry for food.
Yeah, there's nothing
Let
medical
your
like
child
that.
be angry.
Why do you want to do that to the child?
Well, I'm sure that there's a way to increase a child's appetite.
Yeah, usually, sometimes you give them vitamins,
Yeah.
just to stimulate the appetite. But I always say that if they're eating the food, the right foods, they get
Yeah.
the vitamins from there.
Yeah.
So they don't really need all those vitamin supplements that are going around. So we don't really encourage those. We only give them when maybe the child is like really ill and needs
Yes.
a boost or something. Then we'd say, okay, we'll give you this multivitamin. But ideally, whatever you eat from your food, you're getting enough vitamins from it. That should be fine.
Yeah. Real quickly, Dr. Sampson, let me ask you this. So, looking at our Ghanaian setting and our activities, what are some of the things that we probably do unconsciously and consciously during the Harmattan season that just makes us prone to all the kinds of viral infections and illnesses that you mentioned?
All right. So generally, Ghanaians don't drink a lot of water.
Okay.
I don't know why that is.
Then the water business is not working, is
Okay,
it?
Doc, but I just want to be realistic here.
Yes.
Is it a problem of us not being able to drink? What can we replace with water, please?
Nothing. Water is you can't replace anything with water. So you know what I do? I always have a water bottle on me all the time. So that gets you tempted because if it's in your hand, you remember to drink from it. So always have something on you.
Yes.
a bottle, something has to be on you. So you always remind, okay, let me just take a sip. Because when you take things like tea, coffee, it just dehydrates you even further because of the caffeine and all that.
Yes.
So the best thing I say is water.
Yes.
All right,
Well,
can
yes,
you
you did mention
continue,
so
yeah?
water.
Yeah.
So Ghanaians don't
So
like
water is
drinking
life.
water.
Yes.
All right,
you need
can you
to
go on
drink.
with us?
You need to drink a lot of water. At least four of the 500 ml bottles. I mean, if you do that in addition to your food, that should be enough because you need 3 liters of fluid in a day. You eat, there'll be some fluid there. So if you can take 2 liters of water in a day, in addition to what you're eating, that should be sufficient. Now, there's also something called general hygiene and precautions.
Just before you move on to the next point, still on water, I'm also informed that it is not a good practice to drink water before meals or during meals. Is that right?
Yes, so that is something that I've heard a number of nutritionists talk about.
Yeah.
Physiologically, once you eat, the food stays in your stomach and it takes about 4 hours. Then it moves down to the other point. So within 4 hours, if you started with banku and continued with rice, or you started with rice and continued with banku and added water, they are all going to mix up there.
Okay.
They are all going to mix up there. That is physiologically. But I have heard nutritionists talk about taking the water. It's all a matter of satiety, basically. If you take a lot of water, sometimes you do not eat as much because you feel full.
Fill up quicker.
Yes, because the water will fill you up and then you eat less instead of eating first and then drinking water. Yeah, so it's just filling the stomach, the way of doing it.
So water is one. We don't like drinking water. You just heard Doc say that, yes, a lot of Ghanaians don't like drinking
That's
water.
true.
But I thought the water business was booming, you know, seeing all the various brands sell.
It's booming, but it's for functions. People are not really drinking it now. They're just
drinking
there.
as a health practice.
Yes, they're
Yes.
not drinking it the way they should.
So practically, again, you were saying how often should we be drinking water within at least a day?
If
Or
you
how
are,
much volume of water should we consume daily?
so at least 2 liters.
Okay.
That's the least. If you've not made 2 liters, you failed.
Wow.
So you should do at least 2 liters. Anything above 2 liters, then
fine.
that's
I have failed.
Wow,
Yeah.
woefully.
So that is one.
Yes.
Second.
Now, the other thing that is extremely important is hand washing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hand washing is so important. In fact, if we can wash our hands alone, frequently, properly, in a day, a lot of the lines in the clinics will reduce.
Wow.
Just washing your hands with
Wow.
soap
That's
and
true.
under running water. That alone. Research was done in Bangladesh in slums similar to ours,
Yes.
where they were trying to reduce. There's so many illnesses. People are coughing. People are having diarrhea. People are having all these illnesses, and the simple intervention they did was to provide soap. So what people did was that so they wash before they eat. They wash. Mothers wash before they breastfeed. After the toilet, they wash their hands. Whenever they are coming to cook, they wash their hands. They provided soap for the communities. They saw that there was a 40% decrease in all-cause morbidity. It means that it's not just about diarrhea.
Yeah.
Everything. Because this is one thing that all Ghanaians, everybody actually does. Your nose is running, then you just, that is it. Then after that,
No
I see you and I say that, oh, how are you doing?
Hanky,
Yeah, then I shake your hand if you don't know.
Oh,
And you
Doc.
to just pick up, and then that's
It's true that they
it.
cough in your hands, you know, they come and
Yes.
shake you. So
Yes.
Yes.
So the hand washing is vital.
important.
Yeah.
It's very important. If we can all do it. I know that now they are teaching children in schools. And like Dr. Raja said, you see, your children copy from you.
Yeah.
So if we do it at home, they'll do it in school. And once they do it, you'll be happy because you'll not be coming to the clinic often with your children. Even if they have these conditions, they will not be spreading it to their siblings, they'll not be spreading to you. Because, you know, children pick this up from school, then you see the
They
whole
bring it
house,
home.
this one gets it, this one gets it, this one gets it,
Yeah.
everybody gets it, and if you wash your hands, these things will come down.
And I can imagine, especially during this Harmattan season, you know, dry cough,
Yes.
people will bleed from their nose, you know, you probably wound yourself in a way, and yes, you just
you know.
clean up and then you move on. Now you've actually killed the appetite.
Now I get so
Bleeding
scared.
challenge.
Yes.
The bleeding thing is a medical or is just because of the weather? If I should be walking during Harmattan and I see my nose bleeding, shall I run to the hospital or is something I can just manage at home?
Oh no, you have to come to the hospital because we have several causes of bleeding.
Okay.
It could be because it's dry, that's why you're bleeding, or maybe you probably picked your nose and then you know something. But there are a lot of causes of bleeding, which I will not go into today because it's not about that. But you have to come so that we're sure that we rule out those causes before.
Now, you did mention washing of hands. I believe there might be others, but before that, what about the use of hand sanitizers? Is it effective?
It's 99 points. I think it's 99.7 or 99.9 or so. Yeah, so it's not 100% effective. So the best thing to do is wash your hands.
And
constantly.
So you're buying hand sanitizer.
Yeah.
Now they are these little bottles, you see,
Yeah.
and then it smells nice,
Yes,
and
it
you've
does.
got it hanging from your bag or your, and so when you come, small, then just like 1 or 2 drops because you don't want it to finish.
Yes.
But it should be enough to wet your hands.
Yeah.
And then your hands will all be wet and then they'll dry out. The thing about hand sanitizer, as good as they are, they kill the 99.7, but then those things are still on your hands. Hand washing is cheap, it is arguably easily accessible, and it can do it multiple times.
Yeah.
You will not, if you're going to use a hand sanitizer, the number of times you use, you are supposed to do hand washing, it means that you should be buying one or between 1 and 2 every week. Imagine that. Yes. Imagine that. So better wash your hands. Even after you use a sanitizer, the minute you have access to running water, you should wash your hands.
Wow. Well, I always make it a habit to wash my face anytime I get a chance to. Because I feel like there's a lot of dust blown on my face. So just once in a while I wash my face, and then I'm sure if it's put under a microscope, you see a lot of things walking on our skins, day in, day out. But anyways, we are having a quick discussion with Dr. Sampson and Dr. Ewuradjoa in the studio this morning. Yes, we are at risk during the Harmattan season, especially considering that we have lots of dry winds and dust in the air. What are some of the preventable measures as well to keep safe during the season? When we come back, we'll be discussing that. And yes, you are welcome back. Conversations are very exciting in the studio this morning. Dr. Sampson and Dr. Ewuradjoa are joining us here. We are talking about the Harmattan season and the health risks involved as well. Well, we want you to be part of the conversation with us this morning, okay? You can call us on this number, 0246 807 983. I repeat, 0246 807, I beg your pardon, I'll start again, 0246 807 983. So you can call in and get into the conversation with us as well. So we did mention some of these, some preventable measures, but let's also look at some certain behaviors of us Ghanaians that put us at risk. Let me start off with you, Dr. Ewuradjoa. Some of the things that Ghanaians will do during this festive season that will put us at risk.
Alcohol abuse.
Alcohol abuse.
I like the fact that it's alcohol
Binge
abuse.
drinking.
Okay, so it's not that you should stay away entirely from alcohol, but manageable.
don't take drink it in moderation.
Okay.
Don't overdo it.
What happens when you drink alcohol? And how does it make you dehydrated?
It dehydrates you because alcohol is what we call a diuretic, so it makes you pee a lot. You realize that those who drink beer, they can pee like a whole, they pee a lot. If you ask them, they'll tell you. So naturally, that's what alcohol does.
If you ask them.
Oh, if you ask those that drink, I mean, I don't drink, so I can't tell you. But those that drink alcohol, if you ask them, they'll tell you the truth that actually when you drink a lot of alcohol, especially beer, it makes you pee like there's no tomorrow.
You cannot put anything in place of water, not even alcohol, because a lot of people will be eating, kebab. Yeah, kebab will be a big conversation this this season.
I know,
and
right?
they'll be drinking a lot. They'll be
Yes.
taking their soda, their soft drinks, and then their alcohol. It can't replace water in any way.
Not at all. Soft drinks, especially the fizzy ones. I don't mention any names, but they contain a lot of caffeine. It just causes dehydration. So soft drinks, alcohol, in moderation, please.
Well,
or abstain if you can.
Alcohol is one. Is there any other thing that additives that we might have to be cautious of during the season that would put that at risk, especially considering Harmattan is there? It's not an uncomfortable time.
Right. So it's Christmas. The year's about to end, and so most people have decided that this is the time. There's Afrochella. There's all these things going to go on. People are going to just let themselves go.
Okay.
And so sometimes we see these things where people go late into the night, they're drinking, and so they are driving intoxicated, and there have been accidents. Last year, I think on the 31st, there was a young lady and a couple of her friends who were wasted on watch night, and they had an accident. They were rushed in. And I know lots of people have planned that this Christmas they are going to soak themselves.
Yes.
But like say, it should be in moderation. Yes, the year of return. So I've heard that people are trying to go and do some risky sexual behaviors. Please and please.
Please hold on with that. That's another major conversation that we would have. We have
Amaki on the line from Newtown. Hello, Amaki.
Please, it's Rama. The name is Rama.
Hi, Ramatu.
Yes, please.
Oh, thank you for calling Prime Morning this morning. And you've been watching, and we've been talking to the doctors about health challenges during this Harmattan season. What do you have to say or ask or comment?
Yes, mine is a question. Please,
Okay.
I want to find out if an pneumonia patient Yes, I want to find out that a patient with pneumonia during this season, does the patient find it difficult in breathing?
Okay, thank you. And then our doctors will help you with the answer, please.
So
Okay.
Thank you
she's
so much,
asking pneumonia patients and breathing during this season.
What does she mean by pneumonia patients? Because pneumonia is it's an infection, you get treated for it, and that's it. It doesn't stick with you for life.
They don't have
It's not like asthma or a
Yes.
chronic disease like hypertension, diabetes. Those are stuck with you. But pneumonia is it's an infection you have at a certain period. You are treated and you are fine afterwards.
Okay, so maybe
Is she saying
somebody
that she had pneummonia and then maybe she's
somebody
she's-
who's got it,
who has
who's
had
been
it
treated.
before. Okay, so
I
what
should
can you
say.
do?
What can you do?
basically? So there's something that we just mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Making sure I'm well hydrated, eating right, the fruits, the veggies, and all that.
Well, we keep mentioning hydration, and just for the benefit of those who might not, understand, how does what are the signs of dehydration?
Okay, so it's increased thirst. Funny enough, so you actually feel like you need to drink something.
Okay.
You may have sunken eyes. Your eyes may go in. It depends on the stages, So you might have sunken eyes. You might have what we call something reduced skin tegel. So when you pull the skin up, when you pinch it up, it's not coming up.
Okay.
So so it's like we should pinch, but you're not getting that coming in. We have to be sure he's hydrated, right? No, he's hydrated.
This guy needs some buckets of water
I know.
And then the capillary refill. So you squeeze the nail bed and you see the way the blood flows back up.
Yes.
If it's coming quickly, then it means you're fine. So those are a few ways that we used to check for
Okay.
hydration.
Just to add to that, in children, one of the things that you notice is that they may
Yes.
become a bit slow and dull.
Okay.
Yes. That is getting to an extreme side. They become slow and dull, not do anything. My child is not playing as much. Dehydration can cause that in children.
Wow. We have a caller on the line. We have Maxwell from Foley. Hello, Maxwell.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're live on Prime Morning this morning. What do you have to ask us?
Okay, thank you very much. Once again, my name is Maxwell and I'm calling from Bole in the Savannah region. I wanted to find out, up north, there's always this bushfire. And when the wind blows, it carries the dirt and the black burnt ashes into our drinking water. What advice do they have for a woman who fetch water into outside so that maybe they can cover this water they use for drinking and cooking?
Thank you very much, Maxwell. That's a really brilliant question. Doctors, would you help us with that?
It is. And especially in the north,
Yes.
it is drier than it is down here. And so bushfires are very common. They can spread very easily. Now, the smoke that comes from it, it's similar to the smoke that it's in cigarette smoke.
Okay.
Wow.
So, we are always advising people that cigarette smoking is a very hazardous activity. You are actually begging for diseases. It can affect the heart. It can lead you to having strokes. It can lead to cancers, and those things are not good. So with the smoke Those particles have things we call carcinogens. Means they have the ability to lead to cancer formation. So that is all carried up in the smoke. That is all carried up in the soot. That's all carried up in the things that are burnt. So as
from
much as
bushfires, you're saying?
Yes.
Or from various kinds of fires?
So whenever there is this smoke, you see the black.
Yes.
The black fumes, the smoke, which is black, that is moving around. That thing, if you breathe it in, it goes into your lungs. And I don't know if you've seen a picture of a lung that has become blackened. Yes, it's usually pink and nice, but then becomes black. It's all carcinogens. So as much as possible, water should be covered so it's not exposed to these products. You should not go and walk in a place where there's smoke and you just, people think that they are invincible and they just go and walk in those things. It's not good. It affects your lungs and puts you at risk of lung cancers. There are certain conditions called pneumoconiosis, which means that you have particles forming in the lungs that cause it not to expand like it should. So you're not breathing well, and it just affects your general well-being.
Okay, so he's asking, what should they do? Should they boil
So they
the
should
water?
cover.
You can cover it.
So covering it is very
important.
Yes, it's very important.
So they're
it
fetching
doesn't-
the water from a river. They're fetching it from a particular source.
Yes.
Now, when they fetch it, what should they do before they store it? Should they boil the water?
Yeah, they can boil it.
Yeah.
And then before drinking, I think they're probably drinking or probably preparing it with food. Just boil it before you use it for anything.
Okay. Well, we have another caller.
Well, we have Nanekia on the line calling from Ejiso. Nanekia, it's saying. Mr. Mihoyen. Nanekia, talk to us this morning.
Okay, please, I would like to commend you on this program. It's a very nice program. Hello, MFA. It's good to see you on TV.
Hello.
We would like to see more of this program this season. You see, this season is a season of love and peace, and it's a season of eating more too. So we'd want you to talk to us more on how our eating habits would be managed. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nanekia. Well head. We'll serve you right, okay?
Wow, that's great. Yes.
Thank you.
So
about the should address the eating.
Yes.
Okay. So Christmas again.
Yes.
And all eating
Junk
the
food,
kebabs,
chicken.
everything. KFC will be packed.
Yes.
But please, it's important to take our fruits and our veggies. They are really important in making sure our immunity is built up. Our immunity is strong to be able to fight all these things that are much more susceptible in this period of Harmattan, of Christmas. And then make sure you prepare the food well. Yes, make sure you prepare the food well, because food preparation, all these fruits and veggies we talk about, they are not cooked. They are not cooked. You do not cook your fruits.
Yeah.
Most veggies, you don't cook them. So they must be prepared well so that we don't, in our attempt at boosting our immunity, rather get some diseases.
Doc, I'll come to you, Ewuradjoa. It's such a challenge. 1 minute, don't cook your food too much because you're killing the important nutrients in there. The next minute is Harmattan, so cook it well.
Oh.
There's so much
now we're
confusion.
confusing you.
Yes, can you just help us? So what are some of the foods we should cook right? Which one should we keep on fire for long? Mine is even worse. I don't even know how to eat vegetables.
Wow.
A major problem.
Wow.
It's a challenge, and I'm not the only one suffering from this. Millions of people are there.
You don't eat vegetables at all.
How can we help ourselves?
Well, I think what she's saying she's got a point. Being very honest, some people would serve the jollof and then they'll eat the jollof and the chicken and leave the vegetables
separated
on the side.
You have to find a balance, basically. When we say cook your food well, you can cook your cups and all that well, but with the veggies, you can steam them so that you don't have to overcook them. You don't have to boil them or something. You get it. So just finding the balance and knowing how to prepare your food so that you're getting what you need out of them. Okay.
Interesting. Well, our social media handles are also very active. We want you to talk to us this morning. Dr. Sampson and Ewuradjoa are in the studio. Now, we have a question from Asala Agbemadu on, it's a very interesting question, and he's saying that, she's saying that, good morning, MFA. Well, she's asking you, but please, I want to ask the doctors, despite the dust and the wind during Harmattan season, I look fresh more than the normal seasons. He says so. She always waits on the Harmattan.
Hey, really?
Wow.
Interesting.
What's the secret?
There's a myth. There's a myth that if you're a man and you want to choose a woman, you should wait till it's Harmattan season. You can tell the
Really?
true skin tone or skin
Wow.
type of the
Yes.
woman. It's true. I mean, I'm serious.
Health-wise, is this possible, or it's
Maybe it
just
depends
that
on the skin type she has.
Yeah.
Maybe she
Yes.
has oily skin or something, so it
Yes.
helps her, it protects her against the Harmattan.
During
That's why
that
she
season.
probably glows during that time.
Yeah, exactly. If
I'm sure
if
the
she
skin
has
type.
particularly oily skin as compared to those around her, and then in the Harmattan, those around her are now struggling, and she's
They are
not.
drying up.
So it looks like, oh, in this time you are now.
you are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, Dr. Sampson, when we're having a conversation, you mentioned something got to do with sex, and I want us to touch on it lightly. And you mentioned that people have to.
Yes. Yes. So please, our advice. I'm not saying that don't have sex, but
It's
if you
okay.
are going to have,
Do it anyways, even if you say don't
if
have
you are
sex.
going to have sex with someone who is not your spouse, please use protection. Please use protection. I know a lot of people say that, oh, I'm going to marry this person in the future, we are certain. Yes, but please use protection. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm not wishing bad on your relationship, but then
Yeah.
please use protection, because unfortunately, year of return, people are returning.
Yeah.
We're going to have fun.
Open to
We're thinking that this is a
risks, yeah.
time for me to try and do something, and you don't know what is coming from someone.
This is a time
So-
for me to have an African American baby.
Oh, you see that?
And know your
Hilarious.
status, please. Know your HIV status, know your
Yeah.
hepatitis B status,
Very
if you're
important.
negative, get the vaccine and all that. So,
All right, let me just pick this caller from Mankisim. Hello, Rita.
Hello, Emifa.
Otidene.
Nyamia Dumo na onso.
Boko, Mankisim Boko.
Oh, Bibia Boko.
That's that friend be. I about to know doctors know what you're at the be.
Okay. Nam pere mi bisa de. Se obi ono ma on didi ba. On su bebe o otuma nipa ni grow fat na.
Interesting question. So,
does water
Rita,
make you grow fat?
Yeah.
Rita is asking if you don't eat that much, yet you drink a lot of water.
Taking more water and
It makes you fat.
Can it make? Is it possible that it can make you grow fat,
I don't
or
think
slightly
so.
bigger?
I don't
No.
think so.
No, it cannot. So
Doesn't make you fat.
water is only water. You grow bigger because of proteins, carbohydrates, fats. Water has none of
It
that.
doesn't make you fat.
So if someone is not eating, someone is becoming bloated, it may be a problem.
Yeah.
Take Ashorkor. In the case of Ashorkor, this is a child
Yes.
who is not eating well, but then is big. It's something we call edema. Edema is where water accumulates underneath the skin.
Yes.
So because the water has come and it's underneath the skin, the person looks like cheeks are out and all those things, but that child is unhealthy
Yeah.
because the child is not getting the proteins, the energy that it needs. So if somebody is not eating well, especially for a child who is not getting the food that he or she needs, and you see the child is becoming as a why that one is not good. Needs to see a doctor.
Well, we have a call on the line as well. Let's pick a call from Muftar, who's all the way in Hamley. Muftar, I hope I had it right. Good morning.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Good morning, Jay Foley.
Yes,
How are you doing?
I am fine, my brother. Please talk to us.
Please, I want to ask the doctors, like, during Harmattan, how many times should we be eating? Because as I've experienced it with friends, sometimes during Harmattan, you get hungry faster than the other seasons. So I want to know how many times we should be eating during Harmattan.
I'm not the only one asking weird questions. I think that some we'll look at it because I'm also realizing, just to add to his question so he can help us answer, there's a certain different attitude, effects, or things that happen to people in the upper part of the country, you know, as opposed to those in the south. So it doesn't make it, we shouldn't think the questions are not important. They are very important. So he's saying that how often or how many times should you eat, you know, just to stay healthy?
Right. So there is no difference really in terms of the number of times of eating. You get, especially in the north, where it gets really bad, you can get very, very dehydrated. And once you are dehydrated, you are not taking enough. Then people want to substitute that with food because, like, you know, when I said that a normal human being in our African setting needs 3 liters of fluid in a day. But when you eat, you are going to get some fluid from there. So in addition to that, you need at least 2 liters, right? So the thing is that if you are not getting your dehydration from the other sources, then you will feel hungry in those places where all their hydration comes from the food. Then they eat more so that they keep hydrated. But in terms of food alone, there's no need to increase the amount of food that you are eating in the Harmattan period. There's no need to do that.
Doc, staying on hydration, what's this myth about take a quick shower, it would keep you hydrated? Is it true? When you feel a little dehydrated, you can just jump into the shower and take a shower.
Water is going to seep through your skin.
How does the water help with the hydration?
And then my mother has been deceiving me because she's, go and bath so that you feel fresh.
Hey.
Well, talking about myths,
cold baths just help the body feel good, but I don't think it helps you hydrated in any way.
The water by all means needs to get into the system to keep you.
So you have to swallow it down, not on the body.
Okay.
well, this one is coming out from Enyunam. I think we've already discussed this, but just to touch on it again, she says that, hello, good morning to you all. Please, my question is, how can I care for my 5-month baby this Harmattan season?
5 months?
Yes, 5 months.
So I mean, she's still breastfeeding then, so you can't give any other thing because it should be exclusive.
Yes.
So the mother has to eat well, so whatever she's eating is being transferred to the baby, okay? And then just keep the baby warm at night, because during the night it gets a bit cooler during the Harmattan season. So just make sure the baby is warm during that time. And don't take the baby out so that people will be coughing and sneezing the baby's face. No one should be carrying the baby unless it's really necessary, you know. So.
All right, we have a caller. We have Queen from Kumasi on the line. Hello, Queen. Did I lose Queen?
Yes, we just.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, please kindly call back. Still social media handles. Well, on Instagram and Facebook, you can hit us up at Joy Prime Official, and then on Twitter, it's at Real Joy Prime. I've got another interesting question here, and it's all the way from Nigeria. Then, well, Barbie is saying that, good morning, everyone. I'm sorry, Vivian. Well, Barbie Vivian. It says from Nigeria, my skin is always as fresh as ever, except that sometimes I feel a little cold. Please, doctor, what can I do? I think probably doesn't limit her to the Harmattan season.
Yeah, she feels a bit cold.
Yes. It's
As in during the Harmattan period, or
yes, during the Harmattan.
She says some signs.
Yes.
So it's
she
not
can just
specific.
keep herself warm during that time. Just put on a jacket or something to keep herself warm. Unless if she thinks, if it's linked to maybe fever, having headaches, if she's coughing, if she's sneezing, that can be a problem. But if it's just chills during the season, it's to be expected, because at night the weather drops a bit. The temperature drops a bit, so you get a bit cold at night. So that's a bit normal. It depends on what other symptoms she's having with the chills. Yeah.
Well, we also have Peace on the line as well. Peace, good morning. Peace, good morning. Can you hear us?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Talk to us.
Please, I'd like to ask a question.
Yes, please.
Okay. I would like to ask someone, maybe a diabetic person, during Harmattan season, please, what are the things that a person is supposed to maybe take during this Harmattan season?
Thank you very much, Peace. Well, a great, interesting question. Now, everybody's touching on things that affect the person, which is very important. So she's asking, she's probably diabetic, or for people who are suffering from diabetes. Okay. What should they do this season, and how can they also stay safe and healthy?
So basically, they should take their medications, because that's very important.
Yes.
When you have diabetes, it reduces your immunity a bit. So if you're not taking your drugs well, your sugar would go up, and that's even going to attract more bacteria and the more infections in the bloodstream. So take your medications, make sure you're seeing your physician on a regular basis, and then don't overeat during this period. Okay, so they have to really watch their diet during this period. Yes, in moderation. Don't overeat, don't overdrink, make sure you're drinking enough water, and then eat healthily. That's what I'll tell them. And exercise as well.
Okay.
Very important.
Yes, very important. Now, since you also be
sorry, if I just add. So one of the things that diabetics or people who have diabetes should do in this period also is that they should inspect their feet more often than they do, because diabetics have this condition where, because of the disease condition, they do not feel very well what happens in their feet, and that tends to lead them to having infections, sores that are difficult to treat, and so then they eventually get amputations that are done. So the best thing, especially because it is dry, once the skin around the feet crack, because of the damage to the nerves, they are not able to hydrate the skin there. Then infections can start. They can enter in through the cracks because you are walking your feet on the ground where all the things are. So they should inspect their feet. They should inspect their feet as more often than they do in this Harmattan season.
Well, you can call us 0246-807983. You can call us, yes, 0246-807983. Real quickly, let's focus also on water again. Since it looks like one thing we can combat this Harmattan season with. We drink water mostly for satisfaction, but water as medicinal. What is it really doing for us?
What is water doing? It's cleansing your body first of all.
That's
so
one.
It's like a detox agent.
Okay.
It helps with the skin. It actually helps you to glow. If you're drinking enough water in a day, you should have like good skin. Like the way my first skin is glowing this morning.
Thank you.
So
are you drinking water?
I've been trying. Now that I know I'll drink
been
well.
trying, don't worry. And then with the immune system as well.
Sorry, not to move. Not to move too quickly on it. So, just by drinking water, you'd have clearer skin.
Yes. That's the power of water.
Wow.
It actually clears your skin. A lot of people don't know that, but it helps you with good skin.
So this complements, people who want to use all various kinds of lotions and just by drinking water, it helps cleanse your skin.
Yes.
Okay. Then what else are we looking at? I know.
Let me want to say something.
Yes, it just reminds me. So I have a special attention for persons living with albinism. I know that they have peculiar skin diseases, especially when the sun is out. Do they also suffer a particular skin disease, during this Harmattan season? Because they are always stuck to sunscreen. This Harmattan season.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh for them. So there's only the sunscreen that can protect them at this point. I mean, with the water as well, but they can also use the sunscreen lotions and things that have vitamin E just to moisturize their skin.
Okay.
So we did mention, water for medicine or water as medicine. Yes, cleansing, detoxifying.
Gives you a clear skin. Because it helps to fill you up, so you don't end up eating too much.
Yes.
So it helps if you want to those of us who are always on diet.
Balance your diet. Anyway, whilst we are on our health issues, let me show you or let me tell you what is happening this December as well. There's a party, at least the safest place to go to. High Life Afro Party. Joy Prime in collaboration with Coca Music and Tourism, Halifax Entertainment and Gold Coast Restaurants bring to you High Life Afro Party Festival 2019. There will be live band music performances from bands and artists from 20th December 2019 to 4th January 2020. It's going to be a long party. Catch Bisa Simons, Bisa Keda, Kofi Kenata, KK Fusu, Trigmatic, Amachi Dede, Rex Omar, King Promise, Yaya, Akwabwa, Amanzaba, Wendy Shea, Oforian Ponsa, Ochame Kwame, and a host of other exciting performers dish out good music over chilled drinks and meals at the cocktail bar and restaurants Gold Coast at 7 p.m. each night. 7 p.m. each night. Rate is 150 Ghana cedis per ticket. But for table reservation and ticket, call 030-2799-834. 030-2799-834. Tickets are available at Joy FM and Gold Coast Restaurants. Gold Coast Restaurant is located at the 32nd at 5th Avenue Extension Cantonment behind police headquarters. So at least it's a safe place for you to go to where I'm sure that you're not going to be overeating and drinking and, binge drinking, I would say.
Well, we have a call on the line, but before we pick that call real quickly, also another myth just hitting our pages here that I drink water early in the morning and I get nauseous.
I do too.
What causes it?
Hey, doctor, do you know? Because I don't know about that.
Well, if it depends on who it is.
Yes.
Depends on who it is. Nausea early in the morning may be on its own. It's just that you happen to drink water. Okay. But if you're having nausea in the morning, there are some things we will need to look at.
Doctor, don't tell me to go for pregnancy test.
I was thinking about pregnancy.
Not for men.
Yes, not for men,
Yeah,
but for a
woman.
woman, we have to make sure that you're not pregnant. That's basic. You have to make sure that
And
you're
for
not
the
pregnant.
Why are you all
first.
looking at me with all the suspicious eyes? I don't feel that any longer.
Maybe you're pregnant. Who knows?
So yes. Aside from that, you need to check whether you're pregnant or not. If you're not pregnant, then we need to find out if there are certain other conditions that predispose people to vomiting in the mornings. So nausea may be something that comes before the vomiting. So we may need to do particular tests, ask you more questions about headaches, about difficulty seeing. There are all these things that can affect the brain and can lead to vomiting and
Well,
nausea.
we do have Queen on the line this morning. Queen joining us real quickly before we wrap out of here. Queen, good morning.
Morning.
How are you doing, Queen?
I'm great.
Yes, great. Talk to us.
Okay, please, I wanted to ask 2 questions.
Yes, please.
Okay, the first one is that, is it true that honey keeps the skin hydrated?
Is it true that honey keeps the skin hydrated?
The skin hydrated.
And the second
Yes.
question, please.
And the second question is different from what we are talking about this morning.
Feel free to share. They are doctors.
Okay, it's about I and my guy, like our blood groups.
Okay.
I'm A and he's also A. I wanted to know if we can still stay together.
Okay. Well, even though it's off our discussion, we'll just help you answer that before we can.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Queen.
Yes. So she's asking about, someone will say honey, you just
Honey.
name it. Yeah.
Honey is sugar. So I'm wondering why she said it will help you to be hydrated. Like we said, only water that can give you that hydration that you need. So she should just stick to water. It'll be better for her. in the
Water
long
is
run.
better.
Water is
Water.
better than anything.
Well, and she asked about her blood group,
Okay.
A and A. She said
AA.
You know they are both
AA.
AA. So
Yeah.
why are you
AA.
worried about them being A's?
Yes.
Unless
So
the positive or negative is there.
sometimes there's a confusion. There is something called a blood group, and then there is another thing that's about hemoglobin. They are all in the blood, but they are 2 separate things.
Okay.
When you talk about the blood group, it has to do with who can donate blood for who. So we have blood group A, blood group B, we have AB, we have O. Now, when it comes to those blood groups, there is no problem at all. You can marry anybody who has any blood group. There is particularly no problem. I hear a lot of people saying that I'm blood group O, so I shouldn't eat this and that. There is no scientific evidence to support that, and there is no limitation to who you can marry. Now, when it comes to the hemoglobin, that is where we have types of hemoglobin. There you have the A, which is the normal one. We have S, which is found in sickle cell disease patients. And we have C, which is a little bit in between the A and the S. Those are the main ones. There are some others which are not so common, so they're not important. If it is with the hemoglobin, for her being A and her guy being A, there's no problem. There's no problem.
Yeah.
If there was S, if there were some S on both sides, that is where we need to find out what kind of S. Is it AS? Is it SS?
Okay.
Then that one, there needs to be caution.
Yeah.
We need to do more. But then if it's blood group, there's no problem. If
Queen,
it's
I
A,
hope you
that's-
are answered.
Oh, Queen, I'm sure that you need to visit the hospital and talk to your doctor about
Yes.
this. Thank you for calling, actually. And thank you for joining us on this segment. Let's go for health tips. Thank you very much. I'd like to say a big thank you to Dr. Ewuradjoa and Dr. Sampson. This has been very informative and educative.
Yes.
I've learned a lot. One thing I'm never going to forget is to drink a lot of water.
Yes.
Jay, I'm
drinking a lot of water, and that's what I'm doing this December all through. I'm making that commitment to drink a lot of water. And like we said, so from 6:45 a.m. to 7 a.m., get ready for our shake-up, okay? So tune in, enjoy the shake-up before we jump on air tomorrow, and then, yes, we'll have a great show with you.
Let me also say thank you to Facebook Bar Ghana. Thank you for making me look this beautiful, and thank you to Mahawe for my outfit. Thank you very much.
I like that. All right, so we're back here same time tomorrow from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Now, just before we sign out, enjoy this funny video, and let's keep the smiles, because smiles make you live longer as well.
Enjoy the rest of the day, Ad.
I come against every spirit stealing my credit, stealing my data, stealing my credit. I come against every spirit stealing my credit, stealing my data, stealing my credit, yeah. If I buy 10,000, it go last me 2 days. I don't know who they sucker. People from my village. If I buy 10,000, it go finish in 2 days. I don't know who they steal my credit and my data. She not the people. She not my haters. All not the people from my villa. They are sucking my credit, sucking my data.